Hello, hello, Facebook. Good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you are in the world. I am Tamara Zantel, and I'm excited to come to you yet again for this Raising a Mogul TV show. I'm super, like just over the moon. You know why? Because we are exactly 29 days away from the Raising a Mogul Family Business Summit that is happening in Atlanta, Georgia, June 27th through the 30th. It is like the ultimate experience for the serious parent manager and their young mogul. If you don't know about the Raising a Mogul community, I don't know why. I don't know where you've been. If you're raising a superstar child, a child with a huge idea, a huge dream, a child that is ready to take on the world, be a status quo breaker, and really, just like make some major moves and, just declare that child's play is over and we're here to build empires and create legacy with our families as a whole. The Raising a Mogul community is where you should be. So I'm coming to you live yet again with an amazing family. And this family, they're very interesting. They're very sharp. They're all looking all great and good. So I cannot wait to bring all three of them on. We have a mom, a dad, and a young mogul. Now, this is the first time ever on the Raising a Mogul TV show. I don't even know I didn't even tell them that. So that's why I'm like extra amped, right? So I want to introduce you guys to the Hardin Ali family. And they are going to be sharing with us why they decided to invest in the Raising a Mogul Family Business Summit. Hi, guys.
Hi.
I am super excited that you guys said yes, that you clicked the link so that we can join and see each other face to face, and I can share you with our community as a whole. So thank you for that.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah, we're glad to be here.
Absolutely. So this is perfect. So you guys don't know this. Before we actually started live, we went live and I hit the broadcast button. I asked this young mogul, I said, so should we start with mom? Should we talk to dad first? Or should we start with you? And he said to me, I think you should talk to me first. So because I have already gotten my marching orders, I am going to introduce you guys to young Pahiru. He is the CEO of his own business, and he is the reason why his parents are raising a mogul. So Pahiru, how are you today?
Good.
Wonderful. Thank you for being here.
You're welcome.
Do you want to tell me about your business? Tell me a little bit about you.
I'm a gymnast and martial artist. I'm 8 years old, and I really like to do gymnastics and taekwondo.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. Okay, so gymnastics, taekwondo, how does that work? How did you end up doing both? Is there one that you like more than the other?
Well, I like gymnastics better.
Really? Okay, so I have a question. If it's between watching TV, reading a book, or doing gymnastics, which would you pick?
Doing gymnastics.
So gymnastics is clearly the winner. So, okay, so when did you start doing gymnastics?
When I was 3 years old.
3? Oh my goodness, you have to be amazing. You have to be pretty good, right? So tell me a little bit about gymnastics. Do you do competitions? Like, I've seen it on TV. So now listen, I'm gonna tell you a secret. When I was younger, I actually had this idea that I was gonna be a gymnast. The thing with me is I was afraid to flip and doing all the stuff that you have to do in gymnastics. So since I had this overwhelming fear, I held myself back, of course. So that was a dream that I quickly realized that was not gonna happen. But I've always admired gymnasts and just the bravery and the athleticism and everything that goes into that. So is it hard? And why did you get started? Why gymnastics?
Because I just picked gymnastics when I was 3. I don't know, but I just wanted to do gymnastics.
So you made a choice. I love it. I love it. And the thing is that the parents that are watching, it's just that simple, right? So mom and dad, so how did you realize, or what was the moment when you were like, okay, he's actually really, really good?
Okay. So let me start off first by saying that Pahiru was born at 7 months. So he was premature. And let me tell you what my OBGYN said when they went in to pull him out. They had to do an emergency C-section because his arm was wrapped around the umbilical cord 3 times.
Wow.
And she said, and we have it on film, where she said he must have been doing flips in there. So let me just say, at 30 weeks in the womb, he was already a gymnast. But it was about age, honestly, 9 months. He was double jointed, and
Wow.
he could put his legs behind his head. And then the doctors were like, oh, by the time he's 1, he won't ever be able to do that again. And then he turned 3, and he was flipping everywhere, running everywhere, and he was still just as flexible. So I found a gym where they could teach him recreational gymnastics. And he did that for about 2 years. He was the only boy in recreational gymnastics, and that never deterred him. He didn't care,
Right.
So by the time I began to research gymnastics, I found that there should be a competitive team that should start when he's like 6. And the gym where we were at, they had a girls' competition team, but they didn't have a boys. So we were actually able to find a competitive gym that actually had a boys' team. And he tried out. He immediately made pre-team, and 6 months later, he was invited to join team.
Listen, y'all hear that? That's amazing. Pahiru, listen, you're like a rock star. That's amazing. And the other thing is, mom and dad, you're rock stars. And the reason why I say that is because you just gave me like 4 different excuses, things that could have been used as an excuse as to why he couldn't do what people said he could do. So like what the doctor said, what the pediatrician said, when he was born, and then the pediatrician, and then the fact that there wasn't the opportunity right in front of you. And so many people allow that to be the end. That's the end of the story. Right. That's the period for some people. It's like, oh, there's no boys team. So now what do we do? Guess we just find something else, or we just do nothing. Like that's most people. That's a lot of people's reality, So Dad, tell me how you feel about this, or like, what were you thinking like during this process when, during the process of like, okay, well, there's no boys team. Now what do we do? Or, like what keeps you, what starts the research, and like, what is the conversation in the household like when it's like, well, he's clearly gifted. We need to create an opportunity here.
The conversation is, let's find it. That's it.
That's it. Right.
Yeah, just if it's not readily available, we just do the research and don't stop until we find what we need. And fortunately, we didn't have to go far to find a competitive gymnastics organization or competitive gymnast or gymnasium. So it was just a matter of, okay, this particular school doesn't have what we're looking for. Go find another one.
Let's go find another one. Just that simple. I love it. I love the I just that whole, just do it. That's it. Right. Just do it. Because I feel like so many of us overcomplicate things. Right. And I've been all week, I've been talking to families, and I've been talking to our sponsors, and just talk about the summit in general. And the word that keeps replaying in my head is the excuses, the reasons why. Like, and then a lot of that stuff is just a mindset thing. And we allow and I commend you both, because so many of us, probably all of us that are adults now, have been told no, or had an adult in our life not push us towards our greatness.
Absolutely.
Or not be expose us to opportunities that we're exposing our children to. And I don't think it's not a knock on them, but it's more so them not really having whatever it is that we have, that we're like, we're going to just go ahead and do the research. So I don't know if it's the time. I don't know if it's something that they were lacking. So, but I just love the idea that those of us in the Raising a Mogul community, we're breaking the cycle. That cycle of, you know, kids are meant to be seen and not heard. You know, oh, that's really cute. That looks really great. Oh yeah, he's really good at that. But that's where it stops. You know, you know, that we're seeing the potential in our children right from the beginning. And then we're taking it many steps further, not just one step further, to actually go outside the household and create opportunities and do the research so that they can get to the next level in whatever it is that they're gifted in. So I commend you both. So we have a lot of people watching. I want to thank everyone that is joining us. Please, please, please share this broadcast out. I need you to tag another parent manager, tag an auntie, an uncle, a grandparent, a mentor, anyone that has a heart for children that needs to hear what these amazing parents are talking to us about. I want you guys to, you know, to support them, and let's rally around them the way we do as inside the Raising a Mogul community, because what they're talking about is real. And what they're talking about is where so many other families are stuck at, because they don't, you know, when we, Akil and Sharari, you don't know this, but when people come to join the community, one of the questions is like, how do we serve you? What are you here to, you know, what are you hoping to get out of the group? And a lot of people are just like, I don't even know how to get started. Yeah. So to listen to the two of you say like, well, what do you mean? Like, we just started. Like, what do you mean? You know, that's so many people's barriers, just the beginning, you know? So those of you that are watching and listening, I would love for you to please share this video out. And Terry King, she says, exactly, as parents, we have to find and create opportunities when we see gifts in our children. And Tashanta is saying, you guys are awesome. And she's proud of the parents for seeing his passion. Yeah. You know, go ahead.
I was so excited to find out about the society, Tamara, because I thought I was crazy. And I'm going to tell you why I thought I was crazy, right? So I would be talking to parents. So once my son he made team at 7, okay? So, and what many people may not know about gymnastics, when you join USAG men's gymnastics, you know, that is a national, world-renowned thing. Wow. So gymnasts usually retire about 25 years old. So if he's going to have a gymnastics career, that's going to be between about 6 and 17 years old. And so I was planning, I told my husband and Paharu's dad, who is a great co-parent. When you're talking about co-parenting with someone that is a parent that you're not with, but he is still just as much part of the family and the vision, what Paharu has is the greatest support system ever. But I found out that basically about the time children are about 11, they have to decide whether or not they're going to go pro. And so you have to begin working with that. And let's be honest, many of these children, if you're not going to go to the Olympics, your career stops when you graduate. And what I told, you know, my husband and his father, I want to create the opportunity for gymnastics and taekwondo to be a segue into him having his own business. I don't want him to have all of this talent just to go ask someone for a job. So we need to find ways to create entrepreneurship for him. And we decided when Paharu was 4, we were going to homeschool. So he has never been into a traditional school, which have given him time freedom to really develop and to start a business at 5, which was a lemonade stand. And we read one book and he wanted to do that. And he has since, I'm going to start bragging now. He was named, go ahead, Mama. He was named Rookie of the Year 2 weeks ago. He was named to the North Carolina Elite Team. He's the youngest to be on the team. He was the complete underdog from the beginning. And parents, I've actually had a parent tell me they were surprised that he was chosen above all the other boys. So that is why one of the slogans for Paharu Nubia Ra Athletics is where the underdog is champion. And I'm wanting Raising a Mogul Summit to really kind of help me as a parent, help him decide whether or not this is going to be a for-profit or non-profit business that he has, because I think it's a really important message that people know just because you have lemons of limitations and that there are circumstances that doesn't seem to count you in. If you work hard and you have the will, you can win.
That
you
is
can
awesome.
win.
And now that's the premise and the messaging around the athletics company, right?
Absolutely.
The brand. I love it. So when did you go from, okay, you're talented young mogul and the taekwondo and the gymnastics and him, meeting and overcoming all these barriers and just like rising to the occasion and becoming a champion in his own right? When did you decide to say, you know what, we're going to turn this into something more so that we can, help other people, turn it into it? Like, when did that shift come from? And what is that conversation like?
That comes from our own personal philosophy.
Tell me more, Akil.
Yeah, so what I mean by that is we come from we have a sense of entrepreneurship ourselves. So awesome. It wasn't anything that we had to go search out and seek to impart into Paharu. So because we're our own budding entrepreneurs, it just made sense for us to transfer that belief in entrepreneurship and what it can provide for.
One moment, Trevero, let me see Akil a little bit better. There we go. Okay, now we got you. Got your whole face in there. Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, so because we're budding entrepreneurs ourselves, it just makes sense for us to be able to impart into him and be able to take him to the RAM Summit so that we can get the information that we need for him to start earlier than ourselves. Because something that my wife and I have spoken about is, quite frankly, we don't want to be where our parents are today. Respectful.
Oh my goodness.
You understand what I mean? Like, this is real.
Listen, Akil. That is everything right there.
We love our parents dearly, just like the next family. However, I don't want to be 60 and still having to work. No, that's not my interest. So because we didn't get that one small piece of that one seed, I didn't get that at my age. So we want to make sure that he can have a 20-year head start over us. You see what I mean?
Yes, so, I see exactly what you mean. And I listen.
And in due respect, it's not about, bashing employment, because the fact of the matter is if we don't have employment, we'd be out on the street. Right. However, we just have to know that W-2 income has its limitations. So if we want freedom, if we want to be able to do what we want to do, when we want to do it, with whom we want to do it with, we're going to have to create our own lane. We're going to have to take advantage of entrepreneurship.
Absolutely. That was powerful.
And have our money work for us versus we working for it.
We working for it. Yes. And it doesn't have to be the struggle. Like, we need that. I talked about this last night with one of our speakers, Markeith Braden, that this struggle. So many of us are addicted to our labor. And we assume that we're not going to get any results unless we're working really hard, like hard to the point where it's just painful, and that's not the life that I want for my children. That's not the life that I want for any of our young moguls. And we just have to, and it goes back to breaking the cycle and just understanding that there are different ways to get to where we're trying to go. And we have to look at the examples that are in front of us of other successful entrepreneurs, other successful families, other systems and, procedures that are working for other entrepreneurs that are actually making, leaps and bounds in front of a lot of the smaller businesses that we're just kind of teeter-tottering around. It's like, what pieces are we missing? you know,
Absolutely.
and that's what this conversation is about. You know, it's about the mindset, you know, just seeing the possibilities, creating the opportunities, and then taking action. There it is. You know what I mean? So, we have a lot of parent managers watching, and I know they totally just felt everything you said, Arkeel. So those of you that are watching, I want to once again ask you guys to share this video out, because clearly there's some nuggets being dropped here, and there's some other people that, you know, I'm sure that need to get this message. Now, if you are, you know, if you felt what Arkeel said, just drop a 1 in the comments for me, just so I can make sure y'all still here, because I got to check y'all. I just need to check y'all, make sure y'all there. Now, I saw another young mogul there. Who is that?
That's my sweet mama.
She's 4. So we have 4-year-old, 5-year-old.
Get out of here. Hi.
And 8-year-old. And so and we're working through that same process with all of them, for them to know entrepreneurship. I want to really, you know, say to you, Tamara, how important for our family legacy, what you and Tashanta are doing right now. I share with everybody that I know that I became an entrepreneur at 7. Now, mind you, I'm 40 now. So my dad, 33 years ago, had the foresight to start a business for his kids. We would cut grass. I was 7 years old. I had 2 brothers, and we would cut grass every Saturday. Listen to me. We did not have the summers off where we couldn't do. My dad had a big chalkboard in the garage, and he taught us about overhead and profits and everything. We had a bank account. My dad had no support in what he was doing. And I remember even some people in the family would be like, you need to let them kids be kids, and why they out there working. But my dad really had a vision. But the thing was that he didn't have a lot of support, and he had only gotten so far within his business, so he couldn't take me further. So to be able to continue the legacy of starting entrepreneurship, but not just launching, but profiting and scaling and growing, girl, when I tell you, I am doing a praise run right now. Tamara, when I get to the Raising a Mogul Summit, and I feel like I already feel like I've reached a certain point just by knowing that we're going. I mean, the excitement in this house, baby, my bags are already packed. I don't know about anybody else.
She's like 29 days says who? I love it. That is hilarious. Listen, you just made my entire day. Thank you for that. That's amazing. So listen, since you brought it up, tell me what your experience has been like being connected to the community. You know, like what has it been like?
Overwhelming. It's overwhelming. I mean, you have young children. Okay, let's start with Ziggy and Tootie. Okay, Shiva Quinn is, baby. Do you see them doing commercials? They're public speaking. Caden Harris, Kennedy Harris. They are booking events. This, like, the boy is 8. He couldn't talk until he was like 4. Girl, listen. It's so overwhelming to see other parents that have a large vision and that they have the go button. They didn't just press it and let go. They got their finger on the green go button, and they didn't toe it up because they didn't just went way past that. So it's been very, very encouraging for me, because I don't feel alone, and I don't feel like my vision is too big for my children. And also, I like being part of a society where other parents do understand that our children are so intelligent that we can sit down and talk to them about business. We can help them create pigeon boards. These children can understand whatever you set the expectation to be. So to be part of a community that doesn't have to be right here where I live, but they're just a touch away online, and they're sharing the same views, and just the membership to the society. I just feel like it's car insurance. It's like $37 a month to get all of this knowledge and all of this information. It's like another degree. I don't know what everybody else is waiting for. I just don't. I'm sorry. I just can't see it.
I can't. I just can't tell you. You just bless me for real, because it's so true. And we worked really hard to make sure that the community is welcoming, it's accessible. And then the society membership, like you said, is $37, just for you to have access to the information and the private community. And
Absolutely.
literally, I'm like one tag away, and look at Terry's like, yeah, girl, we got you. They're like, you are not alone. I love it. This is hilarious. They're coming. Akil, did you say something?
No, I was just actually thinking, forsake not the assembly of yourselves, right?
Yes.
So it's important, and that I don't claim to be a biblical scholar by no stretch of the imagination. However, that one particular scripture extends beyond just the spiritual assembly. When you assemble with like-minded individuals on any particular matter, you're going to be able to experience the synergy amongst yourselves. They say your mind and my mind makes a more powerful third mind. So when you come together in a group situation, you're able to shorten your learning curve. You're able to feed off of each other. You're able to do far more with much less.
Absolutely.
With much less heartache, because you have each other to lean on. So, coming together in this society is going to be invaluable to the family, and I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Listen, I appreciate you all. And I said this to, had this conversation earlier, that I'm just honored that there are families in the world that feel the same way I feel. Like, because for so long, you talk about, not getting it. And you started to allude to this earlier, where you were saying that there wasn't anybody else around you that could really understand. And I struggled with that for almost 4 years. I was seriously felt like I was on an island alone, just trying to figure this thing out with me and Xandra, and I had family support, but it wasn't, it was supportive, like, okay, well, whatever you're going to do. But it still was in the background, like, she's absolutely crazy. Like you are doing way too much. And I didn't think so. I never thought so. And I felt like if I could see adults going to conferences, investing, just even because Xander's a formulator. So soap conferences to this day are still $600 to $900 for a national conference to go and learn new techniques, continue in education, to be in the room with other amazing formulators and artisans. And my family thought I was insane. The people that when I registered for the conference, they were like, she's only 12. Why would you invest in, she's only 12? I'm like, why wouldn't I? You had invested in yourself. Why wouldn't I invest in my child? This is what she says she wants to do. And that's still happening today. There's still so many people around us that they're not believers because they don't have the foresight and they haven't caught our vision yet, But I tell you one thing, you mentioned a lot of the kids in our community, and there's so many more that are even, they're there, their parents are there. We have kids that have done more in just 8 years than many of the adults have.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And I think that it's time for the world to catch on, to catch our fire, onto our fire, like catch the spark and just accept it. Like, we are here, we're building empires. Our children, they're the next wave. And I know that some people get it, and they get it in the sense that, you see a lot of kids business fairs, you see teenpreneur, kidpreneur, all those things are coming up. There's a lot of camps to teach the, the kids, business plans and, a lot of stuff like that. And I appreciate that. And I'm grateful that finally those things exist, because 2009, 10, 11, 12, it was like, they didn't exist. However, I'm really committed to making sure that we have those programs for the kids, but Raising a Mogul is here to make sure that the family unit itself is intact, that we together are moving forward with our children. Because you can teach the kids all the stuff you want, but if they come home and mom and dad or auntie, uncle, or grandma, or whoever's the caretakers are, if they don't understand how to nurture their spirit, how to nurture that creativity, how to create the opportunities, then whatever the child has inside them will eventually die, you know?
Absolutely.
So we need to make, or some people, you know, there are people out there that overcome and they say, in spite of my circumstance, I was able to do this, this, and this. However, they will also say to you, had I known, or had I had a community around me, or family, or, you know, some people rally around me to push me forward, I would have done it 10 years earlier or 5 years earlier. And I don't want that to be our children's story. I don't want there to be any reason why they can't conquer the world and walk in their dream and live, you know, start checking off things on their vision board today, you know?
Absolutely.
So this conversation has been extremely fruitful. And I know everyone that's watching and listen, I know you guys are like, where'd y'all find these amazing people? Terry King's like, you better preach that. I love it.
Mary, is it okay if I say something to the men that may be watching?
Absolutely, yes. And I was getting ready to go there, Akil. So yes, this is the perfect opportunity. Yes. Okay.
The way that our household is structured is my wife is the primary educator and I do the supplementary work, so to speak.
I love it.
From the very beginning, I'm the benefactor. So for the men who may be watching, you make sure you do everything you're supposed to do to make sure that your child wins, period. No excuses. Go get it done. If your child needs to go here, go there, it doesn't matter what the price tag is. Go get it. Make it happen. Obviously, as long as it's legal. All right, because we don't need to put yourself in a compromise. But the point is, there's no excuses. It doesn't matter what needs to get done. Obviously, you want to be strategic and be wise, but you have to go make it happen because your progeny depends on you. Go get it. Make it happen. Do what you have to do to get it done. Excuses don't reside here. Period.
Listen, I am so in love with you guys because
this is about them, not just about. I want to make sure our grandchildren's grandchildren can eat. Truth be told, other ethnicities, they're making it happen. We need to be on that same page. So this is for them and beyond.
That's it. That's it. And you're absolutely right. There are other ethnicities, they're making it happen. And it's our turn. It's our turn to start right from the beginning, right from the foundation, right here at home, right in your living room, right at the kitchen table, right at the dining room table. And let's just start making it happen. Remove all the excuses and make it happen. That's why I love this family so much, because you guys are just like, okay, you want to do this? Let's do it. And there needs to be more of us. And and I believe that the way there could be, we can create more family mindset, more family entities that believe this same thing, that believe that this is even possible. There's so many people that don't even think that what you guys are doing is even possible. And they might not even understand the value, or they might not even think it's necessary. But we need them to understand that this is absolutely necessary. It's totally valuable, and you can do it too. But the way they see that they can do it too is by our example. And by us coming together in the Raising a Mogul community and doing broadcasts like this and exposing ourselves, if you will, to the world, you know, and like, this is what our family operates. This is how we think. This is how we move. That, you know, is letting people know, like, wow, I need to make a change. Or maybe the way I was thinking about that, or the way I was considering that the last time my child said something, or I noticed something, maybe that wasn't the best thing, or maybe I need to dig a little deeper, or maybe I need to be a little bit more attentive, or ask some more questions. You know,
absolutely.
I think I absolutely know that we are helping people every day when we show up in our businesses, when we show up on, you know, the internet, of course, it has its you know, negatives. However, the positive is, like you alluded to earlier, is like, we're connected. We've never
Absolutely.
been in the same room together, but we're completely connected. And for us not to take this connection or this opportunity or this, this internet thing that we've been given and not to build and to get the information out there is amazing. It's just absolutely amazing. And I thank you, your whole family. I thank all of you for sharing your family with us. Thank you for just being honest and telling us how you do things without holding back. I appreciate that. Shiva Quinn says, she said they have to see it. She said, yes. She said, yes, I call my kids daddy all day long and he shows up.
Yep.
Listen, it's real. This is real. This is real life. And I can't tell you guys, those of you that are listening, watching, like we probably gave y'all like 20 different excuses that you can just go ahead and cross off.
Right.
Like just go ahead and just be like, okay, just erase it off the paper. Erase it, because no longer should it be a barrier for you, because this family is doing it. My family has done it. I think I said something in the group not too long ago. I might've been a video. And I was talking about how we all, at some point, we feel like we're the only ones. It's like with our excuses or our reasons, and an excuse sounds harsh, but at the bottom line is it's an excuse, right? Yes. But I'll say reasons, our reasons for not doing things or not creating or not thinking bigger or not moving faster or not just moving at all. It's like the divorce, there's too many kids, or my job did this, or I just, my resources, and it's like, but we have this free community. And I can almost guarantee you that no matter what your reason or excuse is, somebody can identify it, meet you, and double down on it. You know what I mean? Absolutely. It's like, okay, I see your excuse, but I raised you 5 others. You know what I mean? Like I've been there too. I've had my series. Like, let me tell my story. And that's not what I want to get stuck in. I don't want to get stuck in the part of the story that kept us from doing and making things happen. I want to start rewriting the story about our successes, about the things that we did that were amazing, about how we overcame, about how we positioned our kids for greatness, and about how, like Akil said, we were able to start creating the systems and putting our families in a position where we can feed our grandkids. Absolutely. So now listen, I got to talk to our young mogul here. I see he's like, this is supposed to be about me. I don't know what y'all talking about. Pahiru, is there anything that you want all the amazing people that are watching and that will listen to this broadcast? What is it that you want them to know about you, your business, your goals, your dreams?
I don't know.
So can you tell them what is Pahiru Nubia Rod Athletics about?
It's about teaching kids how to love to exercise and eat the right food.
And why is that important?
Because it can make you grow stronger.
I love it. Mm-hmm. That's awesome. So tell me, what kind of things do you do? So how do you stay active? What do you do for exercise beyond? I'm assuming gymnastics sounds very hard, and so does the Taekwondo. It's hard to me because I can't imagine kicking anything, but I'm just saying.
We believe in you. You still got it. Go ahead.
You're going to teach me when we get there? So tell me, what do you do to stay active, and what kind of foods do you eat?
I don't eat meat anymore, but I eat vegetables, veggie burgers, and sometimes I do like exercising, and I chant.
Really? That's amazing. Okay. So is gymnastics and Taekwondo during the same season?
Yes.
They are. So you're very, very busy. So do you have like gymnastics on certain days, Taekwondo on certain days? Do you ever have to do both in one day?
No, I do gymnastics on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, and do Taekwondo on Wednesday and Friday.
So every single day you're working out, you're moving, you're making it happen. Okay. Makes sense considering the people you live with. I get it. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. Okay. Gymnastics is the front runner. So what's the next level? So congratulations. I need to, your mom told us all the things that have recently happened, and I want to congratulate you on that. I want to say, like, that's amazing. It's very, Dr. Quinn is saying good stuff. Congratulations to you. So what's the next thing? Like, what's the next accomplishment you're going for?
My next goal is to make it on level 5.
For what?
Yeah.
Gymnastics?
Level 5.
For gymnastics.
Okay, level 5. So how do the levels work? What's the highest level, or is that a such thing? You have to educate me because I don't know.
It's level 10.
Uh-oh. Okay. So level 10, is that like Olympics level?
That is the level before you can become an Olympic hopeful.
Wow, that's amazing. And you're how old?
8 years old.
8 years old. So how many boys are on your team or in your on your gymnastics in the that practice and that are at the level you're at?
Probably like, I don't remember.
Not that many, but
I have to count.
7.
is it more boys now? So now that you've gone,
I have 7 teammates with me.
Oh, 7 teammates total.
Right.
Okay. Well, that's awesome. So Mom, is it now at this level? Are there more boys? Because I know that was a barrier.
So they go from, so the boys gymnastics professionally began at level 4.
Okay.
And each level has 2 divisions. So you can be division 1 or division 2. Division 1 is the highest. And so Pahiru just completed level 4 division 1. He is training for level 5 division 1 now. And it's one of those things where the coach said generally after level 6, boys tend to drop out and you may have 2 or 3 guys on a team.
Wow. I see opportunity.
I see it too.
Right.
That's all I heard. Okay. Absolutely. So
I see it.
I love it.
I have 8 teammates.
8 teammates total. Okay. All right. So this is good. Now I have one other question for you, Pahiru. What is it like balancing? So you have other siblings in the house, you have school, you're being homeschooled, you have, gymnastics and taekwondo. Like, what is it like? And then and I feel like this is a good question for you. How often do you feel like you just need to be by yourself and kind of, do your chanting and just be like, let me just get myself together, relax and reset? What is that like?
What's it like?
She says, how the volume here is kind of really, really low. So so she's asking, how often do you feel overwhelmed? Like you feel like there's so much going on that you need to go into your room, open up your gahanzan and chant.
I do feel a little overwhelmed.
Sometimes you do.
So what do you do about it?
Sometimes I read a book, and sometimes I go in my room, take a nap, and chant or do stuff in my room.
I love that. I love that you're so young. You're 8 and you already know how to self-regulate. And that's a thing. That's something that a lot of us adults, especially entrepreneurs, that we struggle with because we just keep working, and we don't know how to read. We don't know ourselves enough, Pahiru, to say, I need to go in my room and take a nap. So that's a skill. Yeah, seriously, like that's a skill. So I commend you for that. And I felt like you had a system. That's why I asked you, because I was like, based on what you already told me, I knew that you had a way to recenter yourself. I just knew that about you, even at 8 years old. And so I commend you for that. And thank you for sharing that with us, because I don't think a lot of parents know that their kids get overwhelmed and that they need downtime too. And you need some alone time to get your, to work on you without everybody else in the house, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I want to thank you guys for taking this time to be on our show, and to Terry King says napping always helps.
Oh yeah.
I want to thank you all for being here. I want to thank you for sharing with us up your family to us, and just everything that you're doing to support your young moguls, plural. And I want to tell you, thank you again for trusting us, for believing in Raising a Mogul, the platform, for being a part of the community, an active member of the community, and for every single thing that you're doing that's going to make our world a better place by raising phenomenal children. Thank you for that.
Absolutely. Thank you.
So Akil or Mom, can you give us one last, give us the information one last time on how we can connect with the brand, and tell us anything else that you have exciting that's coming up for the brand, and anything else that you want us to know.
Okay, so his company again is Paharu Nubia Ra Athletics. You can find him on Facebook and Instagram at Paharu Nubia Ra. That's PAHERU NUBIARA. And right now, honestly, we are working on beginning things in the fall, because one thing that I've learned from the group is that you want to legally form your company first. Like, really make sure that you have a really founded setting. And I know this is a marathon and not a sprint. So we have a couple of service ideas and product ideas. He has been in the local community doing demonstrations, doing group workouts for children, which has been pretty popular. And he's going to be in a fashion show with his brother in about 3 weeks, the week before the summit. So we are taking our time to go through the Raising a Mogul Society classes, and not just winging anything, but really learning, because we want to hold ourselves to the highest standard while we do it, and we want to get it right. We don't want to keep having to remeasure when somebody already has the formula. So we as a family will be doing those classes online, and by the fall, Paharu should be set to really go in. So that's our plan right now.
That is awesome. You have the community is talking to you, Terry King Hunt, and she said brand strategy lab in the fall. That's what she's wishing that you would do in the fall. And Terry is also saying that Paharu could teach other kids how to recalibrate. And that's
yes.
Yeah. So it sounds like
Absolutely.
that's something that's needed. And Dr. Quinn, she's saying follow the formula, and yes, take your time. She said this is it is a blueprint. So that's awesome. So they're all agreeing with you. And I think what you're saying is right on point. And I think you're going to alleviate a lot of the drama, the stress, and the bumps in the road going forward. Is it going to be easy? No, never. Anything worth having is never easy, right?
Absolutely.
However, it doesn't have to be as difficult. It doesn't have to be as difficult. And Raising a Mogul is here because I wanted to make sure that I did everything I could to get out the information so that the parents that are raising moguls behind my, after I'm doing what I'm doing, they don't. I can say, "Oh, I tried that," and if I was you, I would do it like this, and this. There's 3 other different ways, or oh yes, I work with that company and it was amazing, or just makes you ask these questions. The idea is that people go in front, so that way they can look back, or they can write about it later and say, "This is the way you're going to make it easier. Don't go that way because it's going to take you 5 years." But this way you can get through it in 5 months, So I'm just so passionate about this, and I'm excited about the fact that There are parents like you guys that are actually finding value. So thank you for that. I really appreciate it, because the whole purpose of us moving together as a community is so that we can make it easier for each other, you know, and that's what it's all about. It's all about the give. It's all about, the give as well as the take. It's an exchange of value, and it's an exchange of information. And we just go further, faster together. I believe that,
Absolutely.
you know, and creating opportunities for each other. No competition here. Like I just don't even want it in the Raising a Mogul spirit at all. Like, I want everyone to feel like they have what it takes already to win. You just need the guidance, you need the connection, and you need the blueprint or the formula. And that's
Absolutely.
it. Yeah, and it's not a secret.
Collaborate.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my goodness, that's my favorite word. That's like my 2019 word. I love it. So thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. I did put the name of the Facebook page and the brand up on the screen. So everyone that's watching, that's listening, you need to support this family. You need to support our RAM family. Go like the page, share the page. And as they continue to grow, we need to continue to stay connected and think of ways that we can connect and we can collaborate. So family, thank you again. I can't wait to see you all at the summit. I'm really excited about this. And thank you for letting us in a small glimpse into what your life is like and this amazing young mogul that you're raising, as well as all the others. And thank you for just being on the team, being a part of our family. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So you have it here first, guys. So listen. Like, if you were not inspired by today's interview, if you do not feel like you can almost do anything by just listening to these amazing parents, and if you are still sitting with your basket of excuses, or let's call them reasons why you can't level up and you can't support your children and the things that they want to do, I just need you to re-watch this video and then cut it out. Okay, cut it out. Join the Raising a Mogul community, and let's start this exchange of value. Let's start growing and building together. Let's start breaking down barriers, busting through the excuses, hurdling over the challenges, and working towards building our family empire together. I am Tamara Zantel. This is Raising a Mogul TV, and I'm super excited, super grateful, and super honored that you all took the time out of your day to connect with us, to watch, and also to share. Talk to you all soon. Bye-bye.